Stream at the DevOps conference. My name's Steven Chen. I work for the Oracle Technology Network as the lead Java community manager. I have the honor of being in the presence of the Dr. Deprecator.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, yes. So apparently you're an expert in the subject of deprecation. And I was wondering, there seems to be quite a lot of deprecation going on, but then the deprecated things never leave us. Why is that?
Well, it's a long and sad tale. So deprecation was introduced in J, and not all of them for good reasons. And so that caused a lot of outcry in the community, and there was fear that a lot of things would be removed that would cause a lot of gratuitous incompatibility. So basically, the deprecations ground to a halt and very few things were removed. So I think basically this is part of the idea of an API lifecycle where you introduce new things and new things replace the old things, code gets migrated over, and then the old things eventually need to be taken out. And that latter part of the process has never really come to fruition. There is a bunch of stuff in the platform that that needs to be retired.
Maybe thread.stop?
What's that?
Maybe thread.stop?
Thread.stop. Yeah.
Can we retire that?
Probably. Well, one of them, thread.stop, the thread.stop that the thread.stop that takes a throwable argument. So there are actually a couple of overloads of thread.stop. But anyway.
So what are the plans for making deprecation better than the current state? So you mentioned at the it was a Java Council session that you're working on a JEP.
Yeah, that's right.
So how are you gonna improve the life of us Java devs?
Okay, well, part of the issue, I think a fundamental issue, is that deprecation has been very confusing because there's just one bit, which is something is deprecated or it's not. Yeah. But there's nothing about why it was deprecated or what's going to happen to it. And so the idea of this JEP, JEP 277, I believe, is to enhance the deprecation mechanism. And so what we want to do is add more information to the @deprecated annotation that basically narrows it down and tells developers what's going on with a deprecated API. And in some cases, but not all cases, some cases things will explicitly be marked that they are going to be removed.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's say, I'll just come with a theoretical example. Let's say that some API is marked and they say, for removal in Java 18. Mm-hmm. So leading up to the release of Java 18, how would I know that this is going away, and how would it prevent me from in the transition from Java 17 to Java 18 simply not being able to upgrade?
Right. Well, so there are a couple things going on. One of the issues is that the @deprecated annotation only issues warnings at compile time, and we have this. We support this thing called binary compatibility, which basically says, hey, you don't have to recompile. You can just run your old binaries on the new version.
So you may be using a third-party library and not even realize it's using a deprecated API, which then it breaks, and then your code breaks, and you don't even get a warning.
Right. So that's one of the problems. That's one of the problems with the deprecated annotation as it stands, is that it only issues warnings at compile time. So another aspect is not only providing more information in the annotation itself, but also to add new mechanisms that provide warnings at different times. So we're thinking of a couple things, which is one is to add a mechanism at runtime to detect uses of deprecated APIs. So you can run your program and enable deprecation warnings, and so then you'll get those warnings at runtime, no matter who is using the stuff. So like you said, you have a third-party library that is using something deprecated. That'll issue a warning at runtime.
Warning.
Yeah. And then there's a third aspect that we're considering, which is to do static analysis over class files.
It would be possible with the bytecode to actually figure out that you depend upon actually with modularity, you could actually identify by module which of your dependencies causes the
You can narrow it down to which module, but actually, if you do just deeper static analysis, you can find out which class has bytecodes that have a dependency on something that is that is deprecated.
Soon to be deprecated.
Mm-hmm.
Soon to be removed, possibly.
Right.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna throw out a bone to our hecklers who are not engaging properly. So are there any garbage collectors that you think need to be deprecated?
I have to admit that I'm not up on the garbage collection.
All right. So our official heckler is nominated
Okay.
G1, which is the newest garbage collector for immediate deprecation. I think you can guess by the context what the name of our heckler is.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that to the audience to surmise.
Right.
Okay. So this was an exciting interview about deprecation. I think you have something to show the show about conference.
Yeah. So everybody who's attending Devox gets a conference T-shirt, and it has an interesting feature that you can write anything on the front of it using chalk. And what people are encouraged to do is write the name of their favorite API. So Dr. Deprecator's favorite API is @deprecated, the deprecated annotation.
Nice. Very good. So thanks very much,
All
Stuart.
right. Thanks, Steve.
And it's great. Oh, I mean, Dr. Deprecator. And it was great interviewing you live at the Devox night hacking stream.
All right. Thank you.